music just feels so good. You're on to number one.
Welcome back to Triple Threat FM Radio. This is the Echo Chamber right here on that Zeno Radio app. Yo, y'all gotta make sure to download the app. Sponsored by Raise Energy Drinks. Listen, it's the real deal stuff. It's the real deal. Go to repsports.com, REPP sports.com, and at the end, put in the discount code DJ Echo. You get 15% off of your purchase. Now that we paid the bills, right now I have on the phone Ameras. Ameras, what is going on?
What's going on? Hello, family. Thank you for having me.
Listen, man, I like to do a little story time, and I found your profile. So I don't know what I did. Like, I've never felt like the algorithm when it comes to Instagram. And I clicked on a sponsored post because I'm a DJ. I'm always looking to promote new music and do interviews and this and that. So I clicked on one time, and now every like 4 posts that I see on my feed is another sponsored post. So I'm like, all right, listen, you want to send them my way? And I've been hitting up everybody. And some people don't, they ain't got time for me because I'm small scale, But I mean, I hit you up. And I threw a chance. I'm like, yo, this chick, she looked like she could be America's Next Top Model. I love no waiting. I mean, so, and you hit me back, and I mean, hey, I'm just happy you were here with me. You know what I mean?
Of course, yeah, it's definitely no problem. I mean, shoot, I appreciate your grind, and I thank you for reaching out. I mean, even myself, I'm at a point in my life where, like, not too big or too small for anything. Just gotta get it,
I totally understand, and I respect the grind. I respect those that do what they got to do to get their music out there. So, I appreciate your time. So let's stop with the chitter chatter and let's get into this interview because I know people want to know more about you. So, real quick, right off the bat, when did you start singing?
So I actually started singing when, ironically enough, at the same time that I started writing music. So like when I was 12 years old in middle school, I was goofing off in Spanish class because I was one of those kids that, I was just smart. So I had finished all of my work and I just started writing and just singing. And, I captivated the whole class, not to, just toot my own horn or whatever. But it was, something slight. It was a full song. And then I found out years later that one of the classmates, I hadn't even really, talked to her like that. But I found out like years later in high school that she had actually kept it. And I gave it to her and I told her that, you might want to keep that because I'm going to be that chick one day. Right. Yeah.
Okay.
But after that, it was a wrap from there.
That was it. That was it. It was written in the book at that point. That's it.
Yeah.
All right. Anybody else in your family sing?
Yes, my grandmother, on my father's side, and actually all of the men on my father's side, they used to sing together in church, as well as my grandmother. And I actually found that just by listening to her, like all those years in church, that I had taught myself how to harmonize. And that's when my family had found out, like, I didn't know that you could do that. I'm like, yeah. Me neither.
Did it kind of like surprise you? Like, and I know, like, you're telling me you're surrounded by all these people in your family that sing. Like, were you like, did you at one point you were like, oh, maybe it's gonna skip me and maybe I could do something else? Like, did it surprise you when you're like, oh snap, I got pipes?
Yeah, it kind of did, no cap, because when I was younger and I tried singing, this was before, I was 12 or whatever. When I was like really, really young.
Right.
Oh yeah, I had tried singing one time. One of my grandmothers was like, I sounded like a dead skunk. It was real bad.
A dead skunk.
A dead skunk. It was real bad. But I like to think that I grew into my voice.
Right.
I grew into my voice, and I love my mom dearly. She can't sing for her life, but she can hold a note.
Gotcha.
And I love it dearly, but yeah.
She can hold down the family, right? That's what it is.
She can hold down the family.
That's what I'm
the
talking.
Note. Everything.
So you said you sang in front of your class, and obviously y'all were church going family. when was like, can you remember the first time that you really, really like kind of blew people away with your voice, like in like a public setting or church service or talent show or something like that, where you sang and everyone was like, yo?
Well, it was definitely more so towards high school. I started participating in more talent shows and, just practicing singing, and I love performing. So whether it's singing, dancing, I love, I was never like, camera shy or whatever, shy to be under the spotlight, but I love performing. So I did a lot of talent shows, especially in high school. Mm-hmm. And it was during that time that, it was definitely during those shows that, I peeped that some of my peers were just like, okay, Maria, I see you, and yada, yada, yada. And dang, I didn't know she looked like that. I didn't know she could sing like that.
Right.
I'm like, oh yeah, because I mean, I wasn't, I don't think I was considered popular in school, or I wasn't at all what I considered, popular, or one of those people that, but I did have a natural thing for people just, gravitating towards me, especially when I sung. So I always made sure that whatever came out of my mouth was worth listening to.
Oh, okay. I like that. Whatever came out of my mouth was worth listening to. What? All right. So going off of like a knowledge drop that you just did right there. So I love on your description on your IG, just trying to change somebody's life one word at a time. Can we go into that, please?
Oh yeah, most definitely. I love to write. Sometimes even more than I love to sing, I find some days. And sometimes with me, I won't necessarily fully understand or know what I'm feeling until I write it down. And even while I'm writing it down, like I don't look back and see what I'm writing. I just go. And then when I feel that I'm finished, that's when I look back over everything that I've written down. I'm just like, oh, so that's how we're feeling. Okay, cool, got it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, the tongue is a powerful thing, and so is the pen.
Yeah.
And I just feel like when I said I'm just trying to change somebody's life like one word at a time, like it's just amazing how powerful just one word, or even just one knowledge check or whatever that I just dropped. Like it's amazing how just one thing that comes out of your mouth or that you write down or whatever can change somebody's life or perspective, like the way that they see life.
Yeah. Especially when it's from the heart.
Oh yeah, most definitely. So I just always try to do my best to be mindful of that,
Right. Okay. All right. So let's talk about No Waiting, because that was the track that I saw on the sponsored post, and I'm like, yo, this is, and then she came in with the Ameras. So let's go into No Waiting. All right. So what does No Waiting mean to you?
So No Waiting was definitely, my turning point, quote unquote, for lack of better words, in regards to just my music and where I'm at in my career, and how I feel about just the overall confidence that I've grown into myself as an artist and as a person. So that song really just like represents that. I don't know if y'all peeped, but I was definitely trying to be on my cocky-ish. Just a little bit, just because I feel like
it was dripping with swag. It was dripping with swag, and the bass was bumping. I mean that song is tough. It's tough.
Yeah, it definitely is, and major credits to the producer of that track, Kylie on the track. Homie's beats really do go crazy, and that one I just naturally gravitated towards, and I felt like when I heard the beat, like I was like, oh yeah, because it perfectly, I just vibed with it in a way that, that's how I was feeling that's how I'm feeling like at this point in my life. And I was actually I've actually been holding that song since I think November of last year.
Okay.
Yeah. But one thing that had like, and I honestly didn't know like how long I was gonna wait to put the song out, but I was like, nah, that's too good. I gotta save it. And then I recently watched J. Cole's the off-season documentary that he did in promotion for the album, and there was at one point in the documentary when he was talking about Middle Child, and he was just like, am I really gonna wait to put this song out? because usually, you know, he would do the same thing, and he was like, nah. So I was like, you know what, Cole? Because everyone that knows me knows that Cole is my favorite artist. But I was just like, you know what, Cole? You're right. I'm gonna just put it out. So I just put it out there and let the cards fall where they may. But I'm glad that you saw it and that my Instagram ads are working.
Yeah, that money's working. You know what I mean? You got those sponsored posts. They work. They work. You know what I'm saying? Once you get stuck in that algorithm, it's like a circle. You're stuck in the pool. I mean, I'm not complaining. I mean, I've met some amazing artists so far, and I plan on continuing that. You know, I mean, one of the big things of what we're trying to do on this station is, like, listen. As a DJ, because we're all DJs on the station, right? And what we're trying to do is, listen, obviously we're going to play what you want to hear. You know what I'm saying? All the mainstream songs, all them classics, all that kind of stuff. But as a DJ, we need to be able to put out songs that you need to hear. Artists that you need to know. You know, not the mainstream people that are kind of, you know, they got these big labels behind them and got the money and this and that. Like, the people like yourself, like so many others that are grinding, that their music is like top notch, and just people can't, they haven't been able to hear it. So that's our mission, you know, when it comes to the DJs and being able to put somebody out like you, so many different styles and swag. And I mean, I just because then you got No Waiting. And then you got Blurry Visions. And Blurry Visions, I think that might be my favorite out of the songs that I've heard from you. Like, I really, really like it. It's smooth, and I played it on one of my shows, and it's just smooth. I mean, and it's comforting, and like, can you explain a little bit about Blurry Visions?
Oh yeah, so it's funny. Blurry Visions is actually definitely one of my top favorites that I've ever done either. Like, I still go back to it to this day and just listen to it. Blurry Visions was actually, even though it wasn't the first song that I pulled out, it's definitely the oldest. I worked on that in college with the big homie 7 Cent. And he was actually one of the first people that really like pushed me to pursue my music professionally and like stop playing around with, you know, my gift, the gift that God has blessed me with, and my craft, and like really, really focus and hone in on that. Blurry Visions is also, you know, a kind of coming to age thing, but it definitely speaks on like how I used to be, just in regards to like my low self-esteem and low confidence, and just always second guessing stuff and overthinking just about everything in my life. And I just got to the point where I was just so sick and tired of it that I just like spilled my guts out into the song and just how I was feeling. So that's honestly what Blurry Visions is about. We can't allow that stuff to block our pathways and our destinies. We have to create that stuff for ourselves, but nobody can do it but us, you know?
What? Again, more of them knowledge drop. I'm telling you.
Oh yeah, I'm very wise for my age.
Listen, and I'm not gonna ask. You look young. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, you know. So let me ask you a question. Like, you're out of Brooklyn, right? Does that atmosphere, the culture out there, is that help make you who you are when it comes to your music?
It's funny because I'm actually from the DMV area. So I was born in DC and I'm from Maryland. Like, that's where I lived the majority of my life. Okay. I actually just moved out here to Brooklyn like 2 years ago. Okay. But I've always felt, even growing up like states away from here, I always felt connected to New York and just the area and the culture and the music. Mm-hmm. It's funny because the producer of the beat for Blurry Visions is actually out here in Brooklyn. Okay. That's where he's based at, and I just immediately caught a vibe from that, you know. Right. But being out here has definitely helped my creativity in that sense. Just the overall culture and the people, and just getting to experience life out here, which is what I've always envisioned. Definitely helps to, you know, feel that.
Okay. Any plans for an album? Well, you had a lot of singles. Any plans? Are these leading up into an album? Are you just thinking of pushing more singles out?
Oh yeah. So I actually was planning for an album. I'm not gonna hold you. Plans definitely change, but in my perspective, for the better. So now the current plan is to focus more on EPs than full length albums.
Right.
And I only say that because, I actually have so much music in store. But what I want to do is I want to make sure that, remaining consistent with my fan base so that I can grow more. And so I don't want to just release everything all at one time, but I definitely want to make sure that I can build half EPs, on singles, on EPs, etc.
Right.
Just so I can remain consistent in regards to releasing music out.
Right. Okay. Give me two artists, and I can probably guess one of them. But give me two artists that you would go bonkers if you could do a collab with them.
Oh yeah, well, J. Cole is definitely one of them.
There you go. I figured that out.
He's my favorite. He's my favorite. Her would actually be the other one. Just because of everything, honestly. It was crazy because I ain't gonna hold you. I'm not afraid to admit that I was definitely low key, high key hating when she dropped her debut album.
Okay.
While I was in college, just because her sound and her pen and just her overall skill level was everything that I aspired to be. But, like Cole said, if you broke a clown and a millionaire, the joke is on you. And I, got to a point in my life where I was like, I'm tired of being jealous, quote unquote, of other people and hating when I really should be focusing the energy towards learning from them.
Right.
So deep down, it's definitely love. I love her as an artist. I was hating because I love her.
Right, I got you. It's an aberration more of a hate.
Yeah. Most definitely. And just her skill level, her pen, her sound, the tone of her voice, and just the way that she carries herself.
Yeah.
I would definitely go crazy working on something with her.
Gotcha. Okay. Now listen, I know that you got a big career ahead of you. I mean, just the sound, the knowledge, the humbleness, the look, everything. All right, you got the whole package, and I see just an amazing career for you. What up to this point? What's been your biggest moment so far? Maybe somebody you met, an opportunity to do a show, or an opportunity to do. What's been the biggest moment of your life so far professionally?
Professionally, I've had my top two biggest moments would have been recently, at an event. I got to meet Snoop Dogg.
Ooh.
That just blew my mind.
Okay.
And then also hearing
did he get to hear you perform, or was it just kind of like a meet and greet kind of thing?
No. It was actually at a work meeting.
Okay.
For my job.
Gotcha.
But definitely the other top moment would definitely getting to hear one of my songs on the radio.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah. I participated in KYS Versus while I was back home in the DMV area. And one of my songs, One Way, actually got played on the radio, and I was working part-time at Papa John's at the time, so me and my family just pulled into the parking lot and was just blasting it while it was playing on the radio.
That's cool.
It was
that's
a beautiful
cool.
moment. Yeah,
that's awesome. You get to share that with your family. They've been with you the whole time. They've been your foundation and backing you. That's dope.
Yeah, it was great.
That's cool. That's cool. All right, so shout out the team, shout out the family, and then go into your social media. Let people know how they can follow you, keep up to date with your music, what you've been up to, all that kind of stuff. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, most def. So you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, subscribe to me on YouTube, etc. At only ONLY, the number one Ameras. That's AMERAS. And I'm on all streaming platforms, so hit up the kids.
All right, now do they have to? Now, when they look for you, do they have to say Ameras?
Oh my gosh!
I love that intro, yo. I love that intro. It's just...
Thank you. I was doing something different. Like I said, I was going into myself, a little swaggy or whatever.
All right. Shout out the team, shout out the producers, your management, whatever you got to do. Shout them out.
Shoot, I am the management right now.
There we go.
But all of my producers, even all of my engineers, Mike Naz, Pat Riley, 7 Cent, Kylie on the track. I love y'all dearly. Thank you so much for just everything, and of course my best friends and my family who have literally been there since day one, and have always supported my career in music. I appreciate it.
That's cool. That's cool. All right, so you're a model as well. I mean, well, first of all, why wouldn't you be just because of the look? So you're a model as well, okay? And you're successful in that. Is modeling, is one more important than the other?
Um, I wouldn't necessarily say that I'm a successful model, quote unquote. I actually used to really want to be a model. I was low key obsessed with American Next Top Model growing up, but that's a different story. But I actually just recently posted like a couple of shots from a shoot that I did, and I only did it because I dyed my hair, so I needed new photos.
Listen,
But
people just need to go to your Instagram and they'll see what I saw and they'll understand what I mean by successful. That camera loves you, all right?
Oh yeah. Well, modeling actually definitely does running the women in my family. Like we never been camera shy.
Yeah. Oh, y'all got the fine gene? Is that what it is?
Oh, almost does.
Oh, here we
almost
go.
But yeah, no, I just been making it do what it do, and then even when I hit up like makeup artists for a shoot that I'm doing for myself, that's when I recently got inquiries like, yo, I would love to have you as a model for like just to help build their repertoire as a makeup artist and stuff.
Right.
So yeah. That's about it.
All right. I'm gonna ask you one more question. I know you got tons of things to do. I'm
Of
gonna ask
course.
you one more question, and I ask this to everybody because I want to, you want to get into the brain of the person behind the mic. So, what's the biggest piece of advice that you've received that, I mean, on a daily basis you fall back on?
I would say so much advice. But one of my top things would be take life one day at a time, but always work like you have somewhere that you need to be.
Okay.
And then the other piece would definitely be actually a song that I sing to myself at times when I feel like I'm getting overwhelmed, that my mom always used to tell me.
Right.
And it goes, try again, my darling, you're worrying out your heart, and I get it, you're scared, I see it. That's why you have your music to guide you. I'll be right beside you, you got this. So take a chance, don't be afraid, cause girl, you worry about the wrong thing. That's just one piece of advice that she always used to give me. And also, do not give up, do not give in, and keep going.
Now,
that's it.
I had to lower the music down because I needed people to hear the voice. You know what I mean? Like, first of all, you're the first one that's really like sang on the show, so I appreciate that.
Oh, well, that's
and
crazy.
I had to drop
no
the music
problem.
out. I had to drop the music out because people needed to hear everything. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
Amaris, you are amazing. Thank you so much. You are a rock star. I'm sitting back and just kind of just watching just the many things that you are going to do. All right, so this is what's gonna happen. I'm just gonna shut up, and I want you to introduce this song, and thank you so much again. And the mic is yours. Take it over.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me, DJ Echo. What's up, y'all? This is Ameras. You are now listening to my hit song, One Way, right here on Triple Threat FM Radio. Peace.